Or they will go after those Twitter guys,
Yeah,
that whatever it was, those 7 or 8 Twitter guys.
little pump and dumper guys.
Yeah, and then they'll brag
Yeah,
about it and
yeah,
blah blah blah. And those guys made like $1 million. The last one they
yeah.
took, that other one too, in 2021 or 2022, I forget his name now. There's a big article out.
Oh, the
Same
one that
thing.
did that penny stock in California. He made like four
Yes,
hundred thousand
yes, that one.
dollars. And they're like, look at it,
Yeah,
we got this guy. Like,
we got
okay.
this guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
What about the $100 billion that Citadel is doing right now? Ken Griffin just
Or
took
60, what is it, $65 billion sold but not
that
purchased
was
or
that
something
was
like that.
2021. So we haven't gotten the report for what
Oh,
2022 was. And 2020 was 20 billion. So it'll probably be over 100 billion when they report it this time. I had a dude trying to tell me that it was just like options. The options have been exercised yet. That's therefore that was the security sold, not yet purchased. Like, that's not at all what that means. That's stock they sold that they've never provided for. Like, options have nothing to do with that. They do sell naked options, right? But those only get counted if they're exercised. They don't get counted if you just there's apologists all over the place that want to
that's what.
yeah. If you ever counted anybody taking Citadel's side on Twitter or Reddit, you know that they're just full of shit. But
Well, and
yeah.
it's all. I mean, and it's all of them too.
Yeah.
It's crazy. That whole Doug Few, how he came out and did that interview, and then all the crap. I went in and watched him for a while on Twitter and the stuff he was
Yeah.
talking. I'm like, man,
Yeah. And like the
you're gonna look. You're gonna bend rules if you continue to get away with them.
Mhm.
Let's just make it plain and simple. If I can sell this rock even though I'm not supposed to, and
Yeah.
I could sell it for $5 billion worth of these rocks, and I'm gonna get fined, 350 million.
Yeah.
I want to sell 5 billion of these all day long until you catch me. And then once you catch me, I'm gonna go, oh, sorry,
Yeah.
here's your 350 million. And then I'm gonna keep doing it like Citadel. What have they been busted 58 times already by
Yep.
the SEC? Come on.
Yeah. I mean, HSBC took that huge fine of this summer. They got busted selling $17 billion in securities that didn't exist, and then they paid $125 million fine. So they made 16.8 something billion dollars in profit. Cool. like, like, make the fine more than the crime, right? If I rob somebody and I get busted for it and they throw my ass in prison, they're also going to attach some sort of financial crime that's going to be greater than what I did as form of punishment. So why is it these financial guys don't have that same same risk to their crimes? It's silly.
They got they
Yeah.
got some kind of immunity.
Yeah.
It's a corporate thing. They just got this complete immunity, and they
Yeah.
just and then they get, oh, dude, this is what pisses me off though. They get bonuses for this crap.
Mhm.
So even if something goes bad, they still get their bonuses. They
Yeah.
still get their freaking $30 million salaries. Nothing of that stuff changes,
Yeah.
man.
I
You
mean,
know?
Goldman Sachs, AIG, all those dudes that got bailed out in 08, 09, to the tune of hundreds of billions, they still gave their full array of bonuses to all their employees. AIG
Yeah.
should not exist. They gave out like $3 trillion in policies, only had $100 billion to back it up. And they had to get bailed out of all that. But every single solitary person in that company got a bonus after they got their government bailout. It's
It's
I'm
ass backwards.
obviously I should have taken that Goldman job out of college, but I didn't. I was like, I don't want to
No,
live in
no
New York.
kidding,
I
bro.
don't work that job for
Yeah.
3 years and check out. But yeah, it's there needs to be strong enforcement, and we know that the reason there isn't strong enforcement is because that's who funds the campaigns, right? Like, Gary Gensler and the SEC just came out saying, "Oh, we're going to reduce corporate fines by 75%." Cool. You take that slap on the wrist from $1 to $0.25. Awesome. Like, what? You're not doing anyone any favors. And like, if they come forward, we might eliminate the fines entirely. Like, hey, we just made do a bunch of crimes. Oh, okay, keep your money. That's kind of the that's
Well, it starts up, when you get the Congress side of it, right?
yeah.
What was there, 97 Congress people? That article came out, and Wells had put it on Twitter, but 98, and I keep talking about 97 or 87 Congress people that were so far had been found to basically are trading stocks in the stocks that companies that they're making regulation on.
Yep.
Like, I mean, come on, you
Yeah.
can't get any more crooked than that.
Yeah.
And so you're right, with the super PACs and all the money, it's pay to play.
Yep.
Congress, you may want to have, talk a good game and get into Congress, but ultimately it's a career that you can go in making $140,000 and come out and be a multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's how screwed up our entire country is. So it starts from the top down.
Yeah.
And then I think you all realize we actually pay for all that.
Yep.
Because we're the ones that go to work. So that financial system, by the way, would not work if we all stopped working. Because what happens is all of us, 99% of us ants, we're out there working our butts off, paying into the system, right? Constantly paying. Then they're sitting up on their ivory towers, taking all that money from us, and they're using it, making all these bets, making more money. So it's literally, I put it out there, it's like that movie, the Bugs Life or whatever.
Yeah.
And literally the ants and the grasshoppers.
Yeah.
Exactly what it is.
Yeah. I can tell you got a 4-year-old. You know that.
Well, you know what? There's so many movies that show it. It's
Yeah.
just the way society's set up.
Yeah.
If you claw your way to the top, if you fight your way to the top, you make yourself up to the top, and you become a grasshopper, and you live up here.
Yeah.
But you gotta crap on all that 99% because, I mean, we're the ones that do it, guys.
Yep.
I don't know how else to say it. Now, granted, there's nothing we can do because we need the system, right? I need my paycheck. I've got to pay my insurance. I got to pay this. I got to buy milk. Obviously, with these kids, I got to buy clothes, pay for their schooling, right? So we have to pay. We have to pay to be in the system.
Yeah.
But they are taking it and they are using it, and that's what I have the hardest time with. That's why I'm fighting so hard, is because it's kind of, we're the victims and they're using us, but yet we're allowing it.
Yeah.
That's what I don't get. Like,
so
why are we?
I think if we can't get through Congress, and it's been presented every time a new Congress comes in, they try to get this bill passed to ban trading, insider trading by members of Congress and their family. I do think that if they get to a vote, it can pass. I do not think that if it comes to a vote, anyone wants to be seen voting against it, because their opponents will use that in every commercial. Look at this person supporting insider trading and all this stuff. You don't want to be that guy. So that's why I think they've kept it from coming to a vote for so long. But the tide does seem to be turning. I mean, you got guys like Josh Hawley and Sherrod in Ohio, completely diametrically opposed to each other ideologically, but both of them can agree members of Congress shouldn't be trading stocks. And
of course you got Pocahontas and Bernie Sanders.
Yep.
Are always talking about it. On Twitter. It's
one of those things that we can if we push hard enough. I think we can get that one vote over that we need, and we can ban it. And once they can't do the trading anymore, all of a sudden a lot of interest will disappear for a lot of folks who are in Congress. Like, well, shit, if I can't start a trade, why am I even here? Right? So you might get some overturn. Let's say a 25% of members of Congress go, all right, I'm going to take my pension. I'm out of here. I'm going to go back to being a lobbyist or work for the law firm or whatever it was I was doing before. And then you get a bunch of people in who have no interest whatsoever in stocks. They just don't care, right? They just want to make sure that the market runs, it does its thing, but they're not there to enrich themselves, at least not that way. So I think that's a good first step, is if we can get that insider trading bill passed, that will help open up the doorway for getting other ideas about regulating the market in there.
What would be nice too is when we got our government positions, not only that, this has got to drive you nuts when you stop and think about this, but they can leave these government positions, especially like the SEC is very common for this FINRA. Yep. They leave, and then where do they go?
Yeah.
They go right over to these big boys like Goldman Sachs and all these guys, get these big, fat, high-paying salaries saying, here you go. Thank you for all the work you put in for us. We ain't stupid. So not only that, I think they need to put some kind of rule into effect that they can't go to work for any kind of competing business.
That's what part of the Retail Investor Protection Act would be. No one is allowed to run the SEC who is part of private industry. Basically, if you want somebody to be your cabinet level position to run the SEC, it should be someone from a college, like a university finance department or something, someone who is an academic in these things, not somebody from Goldman Sachs, not somebody from GTS, not somebody from Citadel or whatever. Like the people who run these things should be the academics who aren't in it for the money. They're in it for the fact that they're nerds and they love bureaucracy. And likewise, like you can't have people who are the lifetime bureaucrats bouncing back and forth between the investment banks and enforcement, going back to the investment bank, going back to enforcement. Nope, pick one or the other. Either you're a lifer, and if you leave, that's it. You're never coming back. Or if you already are on the outside, you can't come in and all of a sudden be an enforcer. I can't like go knock somebody over the head, get arrested, go to prison for mugging, and when I come out, be like, I'm going to work for the cops now. I'm going to be a cop, and I'm going to regulate the guys who knock people over the head. Yeah.
Keep talking to the members real quick.
Yep.
Sounds like she has a poopy diaper or something.
Okay. All right. I'll hop into the questions here, see if anybody.